the best. Really does.
I miss working in bars. That was so much fun.
I miss
You see,
working
you
at a
say
strip.
that until you start working in them again. Then you're like, I realize why.
I
Well,
miss
see,
working.
I worked in bars in the good old days when I was a cocktail waitress and people could sit there and smoke and drink. So I made bank
Right.
fucking money. Now you can't smoke anywhere inside, so it sucks.
Well, everybody can vape, and the thing is now everybody has those. They have the liquid that just might just happen to have a little something extra in it. So when they're vaping in the
Ah,
bar, you see what I mean? It's just it'd be the same as smoking one of their favorite things in the bar and drinking and getting retarded, and then I get to deal with them. I get the pleasure of dealing with them. So I enjoy every single minute of it. I do. But even then, it's just like, man, the hours just suck. If it could be a 9 to 5, come get drunk and be stupid, I'd be happy. But let's be honest, nobody can really do that.
I miss working in the strip club. Just saying.
Hey, I don't miss that at all. I don't
I
miss
do.
that at all. I ain't gonna lie.
I do, man. I had it made. I was a head bouncer, so I sit at the end of the bar drinking Patron all night long, getting the cash outs and telling everybody else what to do. And the funny thing is the bartenders, they were always, they're females, of course, and they were always trying to get me in a fight. And I'm like, nobody wants to fight me. Nobody.
Well, the difference nowadays is that all your bartenders and all your dancers in those set establishments, and I hate to say it, I hate to generalize it, but they're all addicts. They're all hooked to opiates. They're all hooked to pills. So you don't even want to be around them.
Yeah,
You don't want to be
true.
around them. You know what I mean? It's gotten that bad. It's an epidemic.
You know what? Whenever I was bouncing in Charlotte, that opiates hadn't came along yet. It was after I got home from the military that it was just like, wow. We went to Hooters. We had a welcome home. They had a welcome home party for me at Hooters, and I'm sitting here in excruciating pain. And I sit here and I just, I take one of my pills out, and it's like everybody just said, "Wow, what is that?" I was like, none of your business.
none of your fucking business.
When everybody looks at you, you know something's going on. So I'm not telling you shit. You know what I mean? I'm telling you nothing.
Well, see, the difference is nowadays you pull one of them pills out there, ain't no telling what's going to happen. You're going to have about 3 of them crawling at you over that. And also the difference is that now it's not the customers you have to worry about. It's your dancers.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, it does become a problem. And not just that. I mean, at the end of the day, it's also on you. It's your job. You're there for their safety.
That's
And
right.
if they're engaging in dangerous activity, that's on
right.
you.
Oh, yeah.
You're the one who's supposed to stop it. So it really has become a catch-22 because the money is better when you work at those type of establishments compared to a regular bar. But at the end of the day, is it worth it? Because it really is. It's an ethical violation on your part because you're sitting here
Right.
going, man, I know what you're doing. I know what you're on. And I see it. And I want to blame the guy because that's my job. You know what I mean? Or the
Right.
girl because girls are just as bad, especially in those establishments. I want to blame them, but I really can't
And
because it's you. You're the one doing it.
I actually take,
Yeah.
I will put myself on pedestal for a minute. I actually kind of take pride in when I was working because the way I made money is I learned who my customers were. We're right there in the financial city of the United States, and you got these millionaires that just happen to walk in, and you meet them, you get to know them and stuff like that. Then they come up to you and like, who's on tonight? Who's on point tonight? And you set them up with certain people, especially the ones you know that are going to tip you out. And these motherfuckers walk away spending at least a G. And then at the end of the night, yes, I was the one. I would carry their luggage out to their car to make sure they got to their car safely. It's Charlotte. You don't want to, have a nice little petite, skimpy walking out. Shit. Average pay was $50 a night, but I always walked away about $350, $400. I mean, it was good. It was a good gig there for a while.
That's the difference, though. That's the difference now, though, is you can't look at a customer and tell which one's on point. You just have to say which one's the least messed up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And where they might have had to spend $1,000 before to work for it, bro. All they got to do is drop a 50. That's it. I'm just saying, it's gotten that bad. Man. It's an epidemic, bro. It's that bad.
It has, because I do.
Yeah, you don't want to go to the clubs here in Richmond because all the girls are, like you said, either on opioids, snacks, some shit, and they're all butterfaces. I'm telling you.
Yeah, and I still visit the PDL whenever I go in town, every once in a blue moon, just to say hey to the owners and whatnot. And the one bartender, they're still working there and whatnot. I don't mess around with none of the chicks, and they know it. When they see me walk through the door, they might come up and say, "Hey, how you doing?" and whatnot, get a hug, but they know better. I do not.
Oh, they just want that bionic leg, bro. That's what they want. We already been over this.
I wish it was that easy, brother. I really wish it was that easy. Yeah, a bunch of damn
good old kickstand country.
Yep.
Yeah, Smashley decided to give a little new twist to the nickname Big Country is kickstand. You know, that's $100,000 kickstand. You know, it's there. It's there.
You hear that, ladies? $100,000 kickstand. You don't know what he's talking about. It may not be that prosthetic, but are you curious? That is the question. Are you
Exactly.
My man. So Smashley, Anthony, I forget which time frame that you were talking about, but definitely looking forward to it. I never got to go to airborne school, but Anthony says he's gonna take me. So.
Oh yeah, no, we gonna jump. We gonna have a little fun.
Oh, dude, I
Yes!
can't freaking wait. Oh, that's gonna be so epic. I had to get me one of those head cams to stick on.
We're just gonna put like 20
and then
cameras
he'll
on.
delete the video because he's gonna be screaming like a girl.
Oh no, screaming like a girl. That's one of those hard rocker yells right there for you, sweetie. All right, so
I know, I'm just busting your balls.
let's go ahead and get our nerd on just a little bit real quick and get into a little bit of sports, and then we'll get into a little bit of fuckery on this Freedom Friday. I won't play your song. I actually got rid of it because it was kind of dull. I got to find something else to do it with. But, I was looking through this, and we actually got some interesting things. So here you go. We're going to educate you, some of you people who probably have forgot about your history. Just a few of them. 1493, Christopher Columbus arrives at the Caribbean Islands during the Second Expedition. That's back in 1493. 1813, American troops destroyed the Indian village in the Mississippi Valley. 1868, Ulysses S. Grant elected the 18th president of the United States. 1883, the U.S. Supreme Court declares American Indians to be independent aliens, which that's kind of, I don't know if I really like that. They're not aliens. If anybody, the natives, the Indians, that's your true Americans right there. They were already here before we got here. 1892, the first automatic telephone exchange goes in operation in India. 1918, the German fleet. This is the first leading to Germany's capitulation in World War I. And 1969, U.S. President Richard Nixon speaks on TV and radio about the silent majority of the American people to support politics and continuing the effort on Vietnam. 1983, Jesse Jackson announced his candidacy for the office of the President of the United States. I actually remember that. I was 3 years old, but I actually damn remember that. And that's fucked up.
There's no lie.
Can you remember?
No lie. You remember shit from when you were 3 years old.
Seriously. I swear I do. My mom and dad divorced whenever I was 4 years old. I remember my first pet. I remember my house getting broken into, stealing the TV, and me crying because I couldn't watch He-Man. Playing out in the dirt with my trucks. Firework, 4th of July one weekend. Watching my cousin eat dog food like it was candy. It is weird that I actually can remember, some of those instances back then. It's freaking weird.
Now if you would have said Thundercats, I would have believed you, but you said He-Man. Ain't nobody believe He-Man. Come on, you should have gone Thundercats.
I got Thundercats.
That whole snow thing.
Actually, I got Thundercats on the Xbox. I try to teach my kiddos and stuff, stuff back in the old day about real cartoons. You know what I mean? I need it, even the Looney Tunes. I mean, come on, we all remember waking up to Looney Tunes in the morning. I mean, there's nothing like it anymore.
Yeah.
And that's, you know what, I think would be funny as shit. They actually talked about redoing He-Man. There was some picture art of Battle Cat out there that was badass. And the guy that plays Thor in the Marvel movies these days, they're trying to get him to be He-Man, which I don't see it happening because Marvel's taking off and doing so freaking well. Actually, I ain't heard anything about it in a while. And G.I. Joe fell off. I actually kind of like the G.I. Joe movies, but kind of fell off.
Bad. They weren't.
No, that wasn't too bad, but, you know, at least you got to see the storyline on how Cobra Commander came about. Just saying. But,
true story.
Yes, true story. All right, man. So, Sunday, 5 o'clock, we are going to be rocking the hell out. The guys, you got a special guest, or are you just bringing the guys on and just making everybody laugh till we puke?
Well, man, we're just going to bring the guys on for this first one because we really got to lay the premise down. We got to show everybody what it's about. And, you know, I mean, with a limited time frame at that point, you know, we want to hold to it. We want to kind of keep it to that time frame. So, the second week in that, and being that I'm having those tech issues right now, with everything, until that's fixed, I don't want to, you know, commit to bringing somebody on. But the second show, we're going to have 2 special guests. And, one of which is a retired sergeant major, and one of which is a current CID agent. Nice. And she's going to have some fun stories for us. Oh, wow. So we're going to have some good stuff.
You know, when I was stationed at Fort Lee. What's up, Ryan? We doing pretty good, brother. How you doing this morning? You know, whenever I was at Fort Lee, the CID people came up. I guess they must have been shorthanded or whatnot, but they were trying to recruit some of us. And I actually said, all right, hell yeah, I'll go. But I had to retake the test. My GT score wasn't that high. You know, it was kind of low. It was like 100. I need 110, 112, I think it was,
at least 100.
To get in.
Yeah, at least 100.
And I couldn't get the school done fast enough because my ass was a hell of a mechanic. Yeah, and it's like, come on, let me do. Yeah, that's the whole same damn reason why I didn't get to go to airsoft school. Fort Lee, unfortunately, the guys that kept going to all these schools were failing, so they ended up doing pre-WLC, pre-airsoft school. You did the same thing that you were going to do, but they wanted to make sure that you were going to pass it. And we passed everything, but, you know, in the 49th Quartermaster Group, actually, the 108th Petroleum Unit actually deployed to New York City to help pump out some of the floodwaters up there over last week. Just caught that in the news. I was like, damn, that was the unit I was with. And, you know, they always talked about sending us places. They're not really a deploying unit, but they're more of a humanitarian around stateside natural disasters type deal, which they're badass, man. They really do good at their job. So, yeah.
But guys, if you read between the lines there and you see what he's saying is that until recently, they did not make it past day 0.
Right.
They did not make it past 0. So what that tells me, you know, just as an NCO, is that people are putting a little dirt in their canteen on that little NBC cap. You know what I mean? They're trying to get kicked out. They don't want to go to school.
Yeah. They were purposely failing. The failure rate was just, oh my God, dude. It was one of those places. It was cool, but it was like, come on, man, put some pep in your step. Take some pride in what you're doing. Let's get this stuff going.
Oh, well, basically, like you're sitting there saying, like, if you're walking around with a quad stack, you are an overachiever, you motherfucker. You're making us all look bad. You're hurting the curve. You need to stop that shit.
Yes, we had some overachievers. Myself, a guy named Young. He was airborne. He was airborne qualified, and a couple others. Man, we knew what the hell we were doing. We paid attention. We loved our job, and everybody else was just like, well, fuck it. They're just gonna get it done. Yeah, and we did. We didn't want to sit there till freaking, 2000, 2100, fixing everybody, waiting on everybody else to fix their shit. Fuck it, I'll do it. I know how to do it. Get it done, Ricky Tick. Let's go. Let's get the hell out of here. And then I see your ass at the bar, and your ass is in trouble.
I think in a lot of sense, brother, like, that was a lot of units, though, and it still is a lot of units. I mean, you have your Ricky Rangers. You have you guys that you go to because they're going to get it done. And then you have your other guys that know they're going to get it done, so they kind of slack a little bit. It's just, I think that's just kind of how it goes.
Yep. Sure enough. But the funny part is,